Hi guys, hope you're all doing really well this morning. So Inauguration Day in America is upon us, and all of us who have been following the Trump, the Q, the quantum financial system, Jasara, Nasara, all that stuff, all of this narrative, Trump being a white hat, the dismantling of the cabal, that whole thing, everybody's in a frenzy at the moment. And I use the word frenzy lightly, doesn't necessarily mean in a negative way, just anxiously watching, and maybe not even anxious, just watching, glued, ready. And I've been giving it some thought recently about, we think about it constantly, obviously, those of us who are watching the non-lamestream media narrative. Anyway, it occurred to me that if you've ever been in the rabbit hole, or you've been what lamestream media would classify you as a conspiracy theorist, if you fit into that category and you've dedicated not just the last 12 months, but maybe some years into it, maybe a decade or who knows. I know I started looking into David Icke and, watched Zeitgeist back in the day and all that sort of stuff. If you're kind of there in that little category, you are what I would classify you are looking at the crescendo of the conspiracy theory. Well, the crescendo of the conspiracy theory, because everything that we've ever learned over the past however long you've been in it is kind of coming to a head right now, supposedly. And I'm not discounting the fact that the goalposts keep changing in regards to dates, that things are going to unfold and the reveal is going to happen and the arrests are going to be made, all that sort of stuff. But you're looking at Inauguration Day, and that's kind of, we've been in the background researching what apparently is going on in the background behind the scenes, that all is not what it seems. And we're waiting to see that happen. But this is like the crescendo of your journey as a conspiracy theorist. Because everything that you've ever known about the dark forces, or about, the global elite and the Rothschilds and the bank and the Federal Reserve, all of that apparently is coming to an end and it's going to be dismantled. This is the crescendo. So I suppose what I'm saying is, if ever you've been in the rabbit hole, or you've ever been a conspiracy theorist, or you've, checked it out for a few minutes but not looking at it right now, I would suggest tuning in just for the next couple of days, because it's going to be pretty interesting. In saying that, based on what we've seen happen all year, quite potentially nothing more is going to happen than what we already expect, which will be my prediction. And I don't really want to make a prediction because I'm certainly not skilled or qualified in that department. But we'll see, obviously, some civil unrest begin in DC, or anywhere really in America, because America doesn't strike me as the type of country that's going to allow an election being stolen from them. You see how they behave if you attempt to take away their guns, you take away their right to vote, then they're not going to be happy about it. And on a side note, and I'm just about done here, but I will add that it's very interesting that, and it's a very superfluous point, because of course nothing has made sense for 12 months now. So, and obviously we're all tired of saying, that doesn't make any sense, but here we go anyway. It's very interesting to note that mainstream media are projecting the narrative that Trump is inciting violence and anarchy, and that's why they've pulled him down off social media platforms and that, they're just pushing that story hard, and the level of censorship that's come with that is beyond comprehension. And in fact, it's the most we've ever seen in Western history since the history of mankind. And the fact that that's happening, they're blaming him. Yet, truth being told, and everybody knows it because the evidence has been displayed everywhere, that a party came in and literally stole an election that deceived the entire country and did so many, fraudulent acts that it's just comedy. It's comedy. And wouldn't you think that those acts alone that incites violence? You take someone's freedoms away and you lie to them and you tell them 2 and 2 equals 6 continuously. That's going to make people angry. That's going to make people violent. That's going to incite people to want to pick up arms and fight. Not the person that you stole it from. So that's interesting, but you already knew that. And I guess my last point being one that we all know, but it's important to remember and maybe share it with some people who don't, that never in the history of the world has any form of censorship been laid across sovereign beings not ended in a war. So if you're being censored in a massive way, or in any way, let it be known that you are either in a war or you're about to be in one. And that's the truth. And every single history book will back that point up and will agree. So sit back and watch the crescendo of the conspiracy theory, the crescendo of zeitgeist, the crescendo of the Federal Reserve, the crescendo, the ending of the movie. The movie that we've all invested varied amounts of time in over the past 10, 20, who knows how many years. We're all different. For me, it's about 10 years. Apparently, it's all coming to an end, that it actually is changing in our lifetime. And we have 35,000 or so troops in DC at the moment, getting ready to protect a man or stop a military coup, or nobody really knows. Let's see what they're there for. The crescendo. Ciao. Recorded this before anything's happened, so it'll be interesting to see what actually does go down.